Hey everyone, it's Matron. Gonna do another replay here. This time my opponent is lelezi. Just gonna call him Z, I guess. Diamond level player, 1v1 and 2v2, with 114 games played, 63 wins. Looks like ranked 61 in the challenging Z division. So, get right into it. This is gonna be a PvP game on Lost Temple. Matron spawning as the blue Protoss in the south position, and Z spawning as the red Protoss in the westward position. Notice he doesn't wish me good luck. Not really sure whether he's trying to get into my head a little bit. So PvP, I've been having pretty good success with my 4-gate. It's usually a lot faster than the other person's, though that was in the Platinum division. Now that I've moved up to Diamond, we'll see what kind of success I have. Looks like he's sent over an early probe. I see it as I throw down my pylon, and I go ahead and follow this probe. I sort of suspect maybe he's sent it out just to see what kind of strat he wanted to run, if we're cross-positioned or across the way. But I kind of suspect maybe some foul play or some sort of proxy. So I'm going to run over. I think he's in this eastern position because that would be the fastest a probe could get to me, unless he picked or guessed right the cross positions. So go ahead and scout up there and don't see him. Meanwhile, I throw down my gateway at 12 after chrono boosting out 2 probes. He has another probe coming to my base, and he's going to try to sneak it around, though I did see it come in. So now I definitely suspect some sort of foul play. I'm going to send 4 probes up here to try to intercept it before he can throw down a pylon. I do get a nice surround on him here, and he goes down. So kind of thwarted that effort a little bit, but he still does have this 1 probe I'm going to be on the watch for. So he's going to throw down a pylon. It's probably a little late for gates, and it looks like he has a forge up in his base to throw up the production here. So he's going to try to do the photon cannon. At this point, I should have scouted this, and I see the first cannon. Probably should have canceled the cybernetic score and thrown up a forge quickly. Meanwhile, keep pushing out probes. He's got his first 2 cannons up. I'm going to try to kill this probe, but no luck with just the 1 probe. Finally going to throw up my forge, and the forge is the right play against these cannons. If I can get some cannons up in front of his, he won't be able to move any farther. I'm going to pull off some probes here, too little too late, to try to kill his probe so he can't warp in cannons right away. I see that I'm not going to be able to do that. I lose a probe there, not a good idea, and pull back. At this point I'm just waiting for my forge. He's going to throw up a gateway. Sort of interesting here. I'd like to see him throw down another pylon and then try to encourage a little bit more with those cannons before the gateway here. My forge goes down and I get my first cannon, which promptly dies to his cannons as he uses this probe to get line of sight up top here. Now he's going to throw down a pylon here. I thought this was a cannon. I thought I was done for. So I'm going to warp in my cannon here. I need to send these probes back to mine. He doesn't really have anything going on in his base. He's just no gas, just pushing out probes after probe. Pretty even harvester count, even though I've lost a few to his cannons. So his pylon comes up here. I've got 3 cannons now. So any cannon he warps up here is going to come up after my cannons. So sort of stop the cannon rush here. Going to pin this probe up against his last cannon here and get a kill on it. And my cannons go to work on his pylon. So now I just need to recover. At this point I'm thinking he probably put a lot into this rush, so I just need to kind of play pretty conservative here. Push out of my base. Need to get my my warp gate research going, and probably some more gateways. Looks like I'm going to throw one down here. Probably need another forward cannon or 2 here just to start taking down his buildings as well. But he's going to kind of go into panic mode here. Going to throw up his cybernetic score. He gets 2 gas and throws some cannons down right next to his nexus. So pretty good defense if I try any sort of drop or void rays or anything, though at this point I'm just sort of working on my warp gate, trying to bust out this, these cannons in this gateway. Looks like he's got a probe back here. He's going to make a pylon, so we might try to make some gates up in his base and use this as a proxy to keep the pressure on. He sort of sprinted ahead in the harvesters. I've sort of cut harvesters a little bit here. Probably should keep creating them. My third gateway up. Warp tech is almost finished. He's throwing up a robotics bay at this pylon. So we might sort of use this as a home base. Warp in some units there, get some immortals out. I'm going to take down this gateway, pushes out one more zealot. I'm relatively happy with how I defended this. Anytime you don't lose to a cannon rush, it's pretty good. And I sort of figure that he's in this position over here, and he probably doesn't have too much. So, got my warp tech going, and I'm going to throw up 2 stargates and try to send some void rays his direction. So far I've only seen gateways and zealots, so if I can get some void rays up, hopefully he won't be able to defend them. At least that's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to take down this cannon, do a little bit of micro so I don't lose any stalker. At this point, Enos lost. He's lost 950 to just my 250, and that was mostly, well, it was 1 cannon and 2 probes. So I'm going to push out a little bit. I see his robotics, I see his zealot, I see he's throwing up gateways here, 3 gateways, 2 robotics, both pushing out immortals. Immortal's going to 2-shot the stalker, had taken a little bit of damage from that cannon. I'm just going to push and see what he's got going here. So now I'm relatively, well, I wouldn't say comfortable, but I've thrown up an expansion of my natural here, and I'm going to chrono out these void rays. The cannons, not only did they kill his cannons, but they're going to sort of act as a bit of a natural defense. He's going to have to push out quite a large army to get past these cannons here, especially with the stalkers, the line of sight shooting down at him before he even gets up the ramp. So at this point, just should be pushing more probes out to prepare for my natural. Get my first 2 void rays. Gonna keep chrono boosting more of them, and need to send these immediately to his base. Not really sure what he has at this point. I think I'm a little bit ahead though. I don't have much of an army. If he does some sort of all-in push here with zealots and immortals, he might be able to take down my cannons. So I need to continually warp in stalkers here. I'm going to throw down another cannon here and keep pushing out void rays. At this point, I see all these cannons in space, sort of miss micro these a little bit, take too much damage. I really need to find a good angle, somewhere I can charge up and then just start taking down these cannons. Need to wait for my shields to come back, find an angle where I can charge up. I didn't realize how close that void ray was, 1 shot from dying. I'm going to be able to charge up on the assimilator here. He doesn't have any units here. Still pushing out void rays. Start taking down these probes here. Fully charged, able to take down cannon quite easily. Both these void rays very, very low.